Everyone, when we think of the needs of automotive companies, they vary a lot. But what do automotive companies need in an ERP system, and how to find the list of the ERP system that is going to be suitable for automotive companies? That's exactly what we are going to be discussing today. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent ERP and digital transformation consulting firm. We help our clients with ERP selection, ERP contract negotiation, any ERP project recoveries, or the ERP implementation. Now, let's go back to today's topic, which is going to be the automotive ERP system and how to find them. Before we look at the list, we are going to look at the criteria that we typically consider in building this list. So first thing is going to be the definition of automotive companies. The way we like to see things for the automotive ecosystem, that is going to be the companies that are part of the automotive ecosystem, whether you are talking about automotive OEM, whether we are talking about automotive tier 1, tier 2, manufacturers, suppliers. These are not going to be the automotive dealerships. Typically, their ERP needs are going to be very different because they have very different operationals. So this is really for the automotive manufacturers and distributors, as well as the companies that are going to be in after market ecosystem, as well as the OEMs. Some of the other factors that we look at is going to be the overall market share among automotive companies. How many times do they win and lose? So we consider those factors. Then the ownership funding, how strong the funding is, who's funding them, who owns the company, as well as the code. Those are critical factors for an ERP selection. The other things that we look at is going to be the cloud nativeness of the solution. Is it a legacy solution? Was it born in the cloud? We look at all of those considerations. We look at ecosystem. If we look at review the communities, how deeply penetrated it is with the automotive companies, automotive consultants. If they have a lot, that they are going to probably rank higher. The industry functionality, the product documentation is super critical for us in compiling this list. Then we look at the how diverse the solution is and how diverse business models can a solution support. That's a critical factor for us as well. And then we look at the acquisition strategy. If they have acquired a recent company, did they acquire to fill a hole in the functionality for automotive companies, or are they simply acquiring to augment their finance functionality? So those are some of the factors that we consider. Now, let's review the list. IFS is targeted for the airline ecosystem, the MRO companies, the asset intensive service oriented organization that are going to be upper mid to large. That's where IFS really shines. IFS is going to be a great fit for some of the aftermarket companies, especially if they are going to have very service centric business model, and especially if they are going to have very deep needs from the service scheduling perspective. That's where IFS could be a great fit. The weakness for IFS solution for the automotive company is going to be the manufacturing functionality overall is going to be extremely weak. It's not really designed for the manufacturers and distributors. Even the OEMs might struggle with the object model, with the data model. The way IFS solution is designed, it's not going to have as deep industry 4.0 capabilities. The other minuses for IFS is going to be that last mile functionality is not going to be there. For example, let's say if you look at features such as MMOG or logistics execution, it's going to be really weak, and you will require significant custom development or the configuration, and that will increase your testing time, that will increase your implementation as well as project risk. The ITAF, the recall management, those features are not going to be there as part of IFS. Having said that, IFS is still a very strong solution, especially for aftermarket automotive companies, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 10 on our list. on our list is going to be Oracle ERP Cloud. And some of the folks who consult in the enterprise space might argue that Oracle ERP Cloud is one of the strongest solution. And why is it at number 9 on this list? But typically their perspective is going to be very biased towards the enterprise companies. But that is just the 5% of the market. The 95% of is still going to be SMB market. For those companies, Oracle ERP Cloud is probably not the right fit. Oracle ERP Cloud is targeted at the larger automotive companies that are going to be over $1 billion in revenue, and they are going to have more than 10 global entities. That's where Oracle ERP Cloud is going to be a great fit. Some of the strengths for Oracle ERP Cloud is going to be their deeper CRM capabilities that is designed more from the automotive perspective. Features such as voice of customer research, the R&D data is going to be slightly stronger in the Oracle ERP Cloud. The other strength for Oracle ERP Cloud is going to be the international supply chain capabilities. It has really strong TMS component, and it's really designed for those global trade compliance issues. So if you're a large company, that's where you're going to get a lot of benefit. Now, the negative for Oracle ERP Cloud is going to be that automotive specific functionality that will require significant testing configuration for the automotive companies. And the solution is not going to have as deep financial perspective that some of the larger public centric organizations are going to require, so that finance perspective, the financial traceability is not going to be as strong as SAP. Considering all of that, Oracle ERP Cloud is still a very strong solution for large automotive companies, and that's why it ranks at number 9 on our list. Now, number 8 on our list is the solution called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. And it is going to have similar challenges as your Oracle ERP Cloud. It is really targeted for those larger companies. The real difference between Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O and Oracle ERP Cloud is going to be, at least Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O has some of the data extension that is designed for the automotive companies. It has some of the data elements that could be beneficial, that will reduce the development time for the automotive companies, but it's not going to be as rich as some of the automotive centric solutions. You still need to configure and test, but at least you have some data set that are provided by Microsoft. The other strengths are going to be similar. It is going to have very deep ERP functionality. Some of the difference between your Microsoft Dynamics and Oracle is going to be the best of breed capabilities. When you look at the Microsoft CRM, that's slightly richer overall in CRM functionality. It's rated as number 2 CRM. And then field service capabilities are going to be slightly stronger with Microsoft as compared to your Oracle ERP Cloud. The weaknesses are similar. It's not going to have last mile functionality. It's a very large solution, could appear very overwhelming for the SMB companies. The other negative for Microsoft 365 F&O is going to be the control on the data model, and it's designed to be flexible, which is a strength, but it could be a weakness as well, because then you are allowing programmers to develop whatever they want, and sometimes that could result in significant implementation and project risk issues. So while it's flexible to support a lot of different business model, it could be a huge financial risk if you don't have control on your development process, and if you don't have experience in development, especially if you're a manufacturing or distribution organization. Having said that, Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is still a very strong solution for automotive companies, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 8 on our list. Now, number 7 on our list is going to be similar solution as SAP S/4HANA. This is the solution from SAP, targeted for larger companies, over $1 billion in revenue, 10 to 30 global entities. Is probably going to be the sweet spot for SAP S/4HANA. Some of the strengths of SAP S/4HANA is going to be the deeper portfolio for best of breed capabilities. For example, HCM SuccessFactors is very strong compared to your Microsoft or Oracle, which is going to be needed for the larger companies, especially if they have, let's say, 5,000, 10,000 employees. You definitely will require HCM. So this is provided by SAP. It's going to have the richer integration than utilizing a third-party HCM product. Now, SAP is one of the best, finance perspective. It is backed by HANA technology, which is far superior for the larger workloads. And then you also have the MES capabilities provided as part of SAP S4 HANA platform, which is a strength to explore the Industry 4.0 scenarios. Now, the weaknesses for SAP S4 HANA is going to be the cloud functionality is not as rich as of today. And so you have a lot more available in the on-prem setting, but the cloud capabilities are not as rich, even though they are trying to catch up with some of the other players in the market. It's not there yet. The other negative for SAP S4 HANA is going to be overall last mile functionality. It's not going to be as rich as some of the other solutions such as Infor LN, QAD, IQMS, but this is really designed for the larger organizations, which are either going to develop the last mile functionality or they are going to be utilizing another solution at the plant level, and the corporate is probably going to use the SAP. Having said that, SAP S4 HANA is a very strong solution for large public companies, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 7 on our list. Now, number 6 on our list is going to be a solution called Epicor Kinetic. Epicor Kinetic is targeted for the SMB, discrete manufacturing organization, and it's a very strong solution for automotive SMB companies as well, especially when we talk about the tier 1, tier 2 supplier and manufacturer. The closest comparison for Epicor Kinetic is probably going to be Infor CloudSuite Industrial, which have very deep mixed mode manufacturing capabilities. But the mixed mode manufacturing capabilities in case of Epicor Kinetic is not really designed from the OEM, the complex manufacturing products perspective. It still has very job shop perspective where the BOMs are very assembly centric. The BOMs do not have as strong data integrity that you are going to find in the Infor products. The other advantage with Epicor Kinetic is if you are going to be distributor as well as manufacturer, Epicor Kinetic is probably going to be better fit. But if you're a pure play manufacturer, then Epicor Kinetic may not be as strong. Epicor Kinetic is also far superior in its cloud native capabilities than its legacy counterparts. Also, Epicor Kinetic has the advanced MES integrated offered as part of the solution from Epicor. So if you are concerned about the Industry 4.0 scenarios, then Epicor could be a great fit. The negative for Epicor Kinetic is going to be the overall BOM data integrity. It's not really designed for those larger OEMs. If we talk about electric vehicle manufacturer or the large complex machinery for the automotive, it's not really designed for that. It has very assembly-like BOMs, and one of the consistent trends that we see in the user reviews for Epicor is going to be that Epicor is not as friendly company to work with. So that could be a big red flag if you are going to be relying on Epicor for support. The last mile functionality is another challenge with Epicor. It's not going to be as strong as some of the automotive focused ERP systems. It's going to have far deeper capabilities than your vanilla ERP systems that are not even designed for manufacturing. But in case of Epicor, it's not going to be as strong as your Plex, Infor LN, or IQMS. Having said that, Epicor Kinetic is still a very strong solution, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 6 on our list. Now, number 5 on our list is going to be a solution called IQMS. And IQMS is targeted for the small to medium size discrete automotive manufacturers and distributors, especially if you are, let's say, the plastic company supplying to automotive. IQMS could be a great solution. IQMS also has very deep Honda specific capabilities. So if you are pure play Honda supplier or the manufacturer, IQMS could be a great fit because you are going to get a lot more functionality. And especially if you are SMB, you don't have as much development, testing, project implementation budget, then you might get superior ROI with IQMS. The other advantage with IQMS is going to be that you are going to get one of the strongest automotive last mile functionality, such as your MMOG, logistics execution, APQP, gauge RNR, PPAP compliance. You are going to get MES that is going to have SPC and quality built as part of the solution. So that could be a huge plus for SMB manufacturers and distributors. Cons for IQMS is going to be its interface is very legacy, the development is extremely slower, the community is extremely weak, so finding support and the talent to support IQMS product could be a huge challenge. But having said that, IQMS has very deep automotive capabilities and great for the tier 1, tier 2 automotive manufacturers, especially in the plastics space. And that's the reason why it ranks at number 5 on our list. Number 4 on our list is the solution called Infor CloudSuite Industrial. And Infor CloudSuite Industrial is the SMB discrete solution from Infor, and it's targeted for those SMB companies, especially for the OEMs. It's not as great for the companies that are going to be doing manufacturing as well as distribution, because it has a very deep manufacturing perspective. So if you're a pure play manufacturer and OEM probably, then you are going to like Infor CloudSuite Industrial a lot. The strength for Infor CloudSuite Industrial is going to be it has a stronger BOM data integrity. So if you are building very complex manufacturing products, some of the other solutions on this list might struggle. That's where Infor CloudSuite Industrial really shines. Infor CloudSuite Industrial also own the quality module. So when you have very deep vendor-centric quality management processes or the customer-centric quality management processes as they relate to your reverse logistics, etc., that's where Infor CloudSuite Industrial is going to shine. But Infor CloudSuite Industrial, as of today, does not have the MES that is going to be provided as part of the solution. They have acquired a company and they are trying to integrate at this point of time. As of today, the only thing you get from Infor is going to be the data recording app, which is a minus for Infor CloudSuite Industrial. The other plus that we have for Infor CSI is going to be it has larger community than your Plex, IQMS, Infor LN. Some of the other minuses for Infor LN could be it has very weak international trade management capabilities and the program and PLM integration capabilities. So it's not really designed for those large automotive companies. Having said that, Infor CSI is still a very strong solution for SMB OEMs in the automotive space, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 4 on our list. Now, number 3 on our list is going to be a solution called Plex. Plex has always been an automotive ERP solution. It's really designed from that plant operator perspective. So while the plant operator perspective is extremely strong, it is going to be deficient in some of the other perspectives. For example, let's say if you talk about procurement, finance, it's just an afterthought. The other strength for Plex is going to be it has far stronger MES, and then the last mile functionality for Toyota suppliers and the manufacturers is going to be far deeper overall in Plex than some of the other solutions on this list. The negative for Plex is going to be the weaker community, the finance capabilities, and the core ERP functionality for larger companies is not going to be there in Plex. Having said that, Plex is still a very strong solution for the automotive companies, especially in the Toyota ecosystem. And that's the reason why it ranks at number 3 on our list. Now, number 2 on our list is going to be a solution called Infor LN. And Infor LN is targeted for automotive companies, and that is going to be anywhere from $250 million to roughly $1 billion in revenue. And sometimes companies that are going to be in the range of $1 to $5 billion may find far superior value with Infor LN than they are going to find with your other solutions such as SAP S/4HANA, Oracle ERP Cloud, because you are going to get far deeper automotive specific functionality that you need to either build, configure, test on your vanilla ERP system, which increases your implementation cost, increases implementation risk and time as well. So the plus for Infor LN is going to be the program management capabilities, and it's really designed for those large complex programs and the products that you might be building as part of automotive company. So let's say if you are the OEM, you are going to love the solution because you can have all of your R&D, engineering, PLM processes as part of one solution. And the scheduling is going to be comprehensive, considering all of the perspective, not just biased towards one perspective, which is going to be either production or service, or it is going to be procurement scheduling. The other plus for Infor LN is going to be the international trade management and the comprehensive scheduling and the Honda specific functionality you are going to find in case of Infor LN. The negatives for Infor LN is going to be the weak community. It has weaker community than some of the other Infor products such as Infor CSI. The interface is very clunky and legacy. It's not as cloud native as some of the other solutions on this list, such as Epicor, and the MES is a huge gap for Infor at this point of time. But having said that, Infor LN has always been a very strong automotive solution, and that's the reason why it ranks at number 2 on our list. Now, number 1 on our list is going to be a solution called QAD. And QAD has similar positioning as Infor LN. It's targeted for those upper, mid to large organizations, especially the organizations that are looking for far deeper value than they would find with the vanilla ERP system, such as SAP S/4HANA, Oracle ERP Cloud. So this could be a great sweet spot, when the company is going to be in that $1 to $5 billion range, and they are not getting, let's say, 100% growth year over year. If you are going to be in that range, QAD could be a great fit for you. Now, some of the strengths of the QAD is going to be the automotive specific functionality. It's going to be far richer than some of the other solutions on this list. The other plus for QAD is going to be it's designed from supply chain perspective. So if you are very deep in supply chain and supply chain is your biggest pain, then QAD might be a superior fit than some of the other solutions on this list. The other plus that we have compared to the solutions on this list is going to be their UX is far superior. It's designed to be slightly easier than, let's say, Infor products. And then the negative for QAD is going to be it's not going to have as deep finance perspective for large global public companies that you are going to find with SAP. So it's not really a fit for those large companies. And then the programming language that it uses, it's very legacy, and the community is not as strong as some of the other products on this list. So if you are not happy with the support from QAD, you might struggle in finding the support, the talent that you may need to support the QAD products. So that's it for the list. If you enjoyed this list, we are going to include the link in the comments that is going to have far deeper analysis of how we compiled this list. So make sure you guys are going to check that. Also, we rely on your insights and feedback, and so make sure you guys are going to post your questions and comments. Also, if you like what I am saying, we have a podcast that is available on Apple, Google, and Spotify that you may want to subscribe. You can search for WBS Rocks on any of those platforms and just subscribe. Make sure you are going to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well so that you don't miss any of these videos. On that note, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.